Alex looked at his cell phone after receiving a text from Lily, as she liked to be known, his wife of 5 years. He had just landed a significant service contract with a major company in California, which had branches all over the country. He was certain his boss, Max Carter, would be ecstatic since this deal meant major growth for his IT firm and a notable increase in his paycheck. Alex thought that maybe, just maybe, he and Lily could finally start the family they had been dreaming about. But he had lingering worries that had been eating at him since the camping trip with Max just over a week ago. There had been a noticeable shift in Lily's behavior after they returned. She seemed distant, as though her mind was somewhere else, and she'd grown a bit snippy with him. There was more to it. When they got home and he tossed their clothes into the hamper, he spotted something odd in the gusset of one of her underwear. Upon closer inspection, he found a substance that had hardened and had a distinct odor. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. His world felt like it was crashing down around him. He didn't know whose fluid it was, but he was determined to find out. With a trip to the West Coast coming up, Alex decided to consult a lawyer to explore his options. If Lily was cheating, he figured, that would be the end of their marriage. "Are you sure your wife is being unfaithful?" Sophie Green asked. Sophie, who specialized in family law and divorce, came highly recommended by a friend who had recently gone through a divorce due to infidelity. "Not completely sure," he admitted. "But I need to know for certain, and if she is, I want a divorce." "Well," Sophie began, "most divorces in this state are no fault. You could file on grounds of infidelity, but you'll need solid evidence. Photos or videos, for instance." "Like photos or videos?" Alex asked. "Exactly," Sophie confirmed. "If you'd like, I can have an investigator keep an eye on her activities to gather proof." "Please do," Alex said. "What should I expect in terms of divorce proceedings? Given that she earns about the same as you with her teaching job, there's a chance we can avoid alimony," Sophie explained. "With no real estate or children involved, assets will likely be divided evenly. Your retirement funds will remain yours, and hers will be hers. If she's indeed cheating, we'll use that as leverage and whatever evidence we gather to get a favorable outcome. I'll start preparing the paperwork, and we'll proceed once we have proof." "All right," Alex agreed. "Go ahead. I'll be away for about 3 days, which might be when she could act." Sophie enlisted her investigator, Oliver Brown, who suggested that Alex install a tracking app on Lily's phone. He also provided Alex with a device for recording landline calls and an audio recorder to hide in Lily's purse. Alex hated the idea of spying, but he felt he had no choice but to uncover the truth. There were other signs too. Since the camping trip, Max seemed to be acting more arrogant and contemptuous, as if he knew something Alex didn't. That week, Lily drove him to the airport and gave him a kiss goodbye. He promised to call her that night after dinner. She agreed and wished him a safe trip. On the first night away, Alex called Lily as promised, only to hear that she'd be working as a waitress at a party Max was hosting. She said there was an emergency with one of the original waitstaff, and Max had asked for her help. Alex hadn't heard anything about this from Max. Lily mentioned Max promised her $150 for the evening, which she said would be helpful since she wouldn't be back at work for a couple of weeks. Alex knew classes were about to start up again, so he understood she could use the extra cash, but something didn't sit right with him. When he questioned her, she assured him everything was fine, told him she loved him, and wished him good night. After ending the call, Alex felt a tight knot of anxiety in his stomach. He decided to inform the investigator about Lily's new job. "Just wanted to let you know, Lily's been asked to waitress at a party at Max Carter's place," Alex told Oliver. Oliver said they would keep him updated, and Alex thanked him before hanging up. The next day, he tried calling Lily's cell again, but it went straight to voicemail. He also called the house phone, only to reach the answering machine. He hoped she wasn't spending the night with Max, but his worst fears were confirmed later that afternoon when he received an email from Oliver. The email read, "Lily spent the night at Carter's house and is still there. She was quite busy last night. I've attached some photos, but I should warn you, they're pretty graphic." I'll give you a full report when you return. Alex opened the attachments and felt his heart sink. There was his beloved wife of 5 years, caught in explicit acts. One photo showed her with Max, while others were with colleagues he once called friends. In one disturbing image, she was sprawled on the floor. Tears streamed down Alex's face, and his hands shook uncontrollably. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Alex tried calling her phone once more, but it went straight to voicemail. Alex tried calling the house phone again, but all he got was the answering machine. Without leaving a message, he headed to the hotel bar to drown his worries. The following morning, he checked the tracker on Lily's phone and confirmed it was still at Max's place. Oliver emailed him with more photos, including a disturbing scene with Max, his son Daniel, and some other guys from Max's IT firm. People he once trusted but no longer did. The other men were unfamiliar to him, and he guessed they were Daniel's friends. Finishing up his business in California, Alex left the hotel, contract in hand, and caught an early flight home. When he arrived, he noticed Lily's car was missing. Checking the tracker again, he saw her phone was still at Max's. After changing clothes, he called Sophie's office. Sophie's receptionist told him she was available and could see him that afternoon. Alex then called Lily's cell and was taken aback when she answered, sounding out of breath. He asked where she was, and she claimed to be at home catching up. Her blatant lie shocked him. He told her he was done with his work in California and heading home. Lily seemed thrilled and offered to pick him up from the airport, but Alex declined, saying he'd take a taxi instead. After ending the call, he wondered if she noticed his lack of warmth. Lily looked at her phone after Alex hung up. His usual "I love you" was missing, and his tone was distant. She had planned to leave after the first night, but the allure of being with Max and his son proved too tempting. She convinced herself it was something she deserved. She thought it would all be over once classes started, and Alex would never find out. So, she stayed with Max and Daniel for the next day and night. When Max briefly left for work, Daniel kept her busy and even invited friends over for a group encounter. By the time Max returned, she was in bed with Daniel on Max's bed. Max suggested they should arrange more of Alex's absences over the weekend so they could spend more time together. "I have classes soon, so I won't be available on weekdays," she explained. "I can't risk it while Alex is home." "Why not?" Max teased. "Maybe he'd enjoy seeing you with other men for a change." They both laughed at the idea. Lily admitted her feelings for Max but insisted she still loved Alex and didn't want to hurt him. Max proposed arranging Alex's absences on weekends so Lily could be with them more. "But Alex will eventually find out," she said. "He's not stupid, don't worry," Max assured, reaching for his camera. "I'll take care of him. Just one thing," he added, "you won't be in bed with him anymore." "You're ours now, understand?" "How am I supposed to manage that?" she asked. "You'll figure it out," Max said dismissively. "Just make up an excuse, like a headache." "I'll try," she agreed. Unbeknownst to them, a van across the street was capturing everything with hidden cameras. Alex's heart shattered when he saw the evidence Oliver had collected. The photos and videos revealed Lily engaging in acts with multiple men, far beyond anything she would have done with him. His love for her vanished as he grappled with her betrayal. Sophie tried to console him, but his anguish was overwhelming. How could she change so drastically after 5 years? What had he done to deserve this? And Max, whom he had once considered a friend, had shown his true colors. "I'll start the divorce proceedings," Sophie suggested, pointing out the infidelity. "We could also file for alienation of affection against Max and your colleagues. These cases are tough, but I believe we can get a good settlement." "Do whatever it takes," Alex said. "Just don't make any reckless moves," Sophie warned him. "I don't want to bail you out of jail." "I won't," Alex assured her. "When will the papers be ready?" "I'll have everything prepared in a couple of days," Sophie replied. "In the meantime, try to keep things normal with your wife." "I'm not much of an actor," Alex admitted. "I won't touch her again. Who knows what she's picked up from all those men." "Tell her you're not feeling well," Sophie suggested. That should buy you some time, yeah, okay, Alex agreed. Thanks. Leaving Sophie's office, Alex felt a bit relieved but still nauseous. In his car, he realized he couldn't continue working for Max or being around the men who had betrayed him. He found the number he needed in his contacts and dialed it, hoping for the best. Lee, the voice answered. Ethan, it's Alex Reed. Alex said. Alex, how are you, my friend? Ethan asked. Not great, Alex admitted. Listen, is that position at Empire still open? Ethan Lee had been trying to recruit Alex for a while, but Alex's loyalty to Max had kept him from considering it. Now, that loyalty was gone. Absolutely, Ethan confirmed. Are you finally thinking of joining an established company? Something like that, Alex replied. I've realized I can't stay in my current job. I'm sorry to hear that, Ethan said sympathetically. Can I do anything to help? Just give me a job, Alex replied. I'll put in the same effort for you as I did for Max. Done, Ethan agreed. How about starting on Monday? Perfect, Alex accepted. Great. Why don't you and your wife join us for dinner tonight? Ethan suggested. Mia will be making her famous lasagna, and we can go over your compensation package. I'd love to, but I can't bring Lily, Alex declined. Bo? What's the issue? Ethan asked, puzzled. I'd rather not get into it over the phone, Alex said. But I can explain more when we meet tonight, of course, Ethan said, sounding concerned. Mia is a counselor. Maybe she can offer some help. That sounds good, Alex acknowledged. I'll let Mia know. Can you come by at 6:30? Ethan asked. Absolutely, Alex confirmed. 6:30 it is. Thanks, buddy. My pleasure, Ethan replied, feeling a sense of relief. Alex drove home. When he arrived and found Lily wasn't there, he showered, changed, and wrote his resignation letter. Lily got home around 5 p.m. and saw Alex working at his computer. She leaned in for a kiss, but he turned, so it landed on his cheek instead. Is everything okay? She asked, looking surprised. Not really, Alex admitted. I'm not feeling well. Maybe it's jet lag. I'll sleep on the futon tonight. Sleeping out? She asked. Where are you going? I have dinner plans, Alex said. Meeting someone? She inquired, her concern evident. Are you accusing me of cheating? Alex shot back. No, she said quickly. I've never cheated on you and I never will. Can you say the same? She recoiled, her face showing horror. She couldn't possibly know, she told herself. No, I can't, she replied. Alex remained unconvinced. So, how was your trip to California? Successful, he said tersely. And how did your gig at Max's house go? He asked, his voice flat. It went smoothly, she answered. Even though it was challenging, I still enjoyed it. I can imagine, Alex remarked, his tone emotionless. He glanced at his watch and decided it was time to leave. I should get going, he said, saving his work and shutting down his computer. He stood up and walked past her without another word, heading to the master bedroom to change into something less casual. When he came back, Lily was sitting on the couch. How long will you be out? She asked. I'm not sure, he replied. Don't wait up for me. Goodbye. He grabbed his keys and left the house. Lily noticed he didn't kiss her or say he loved her as he always did before leaving. After watching him drive away, she picked up the house phone and called Max, unaware that their conversation was being recorded. Max, I think he suspects something, she confided. What makes you think that? Max asked. He wouldn't touch me at all, she explained. He always gives me a kiss and says he loves me, but not today. He seemed distant and just left, saying something about dinner. Really? Max said. Did he mention with whom? No, he didn't, she admitted. Max, what if he knows? What if he's planning to leave me? She asked, her voice trembling. Then so be it, Max scoffed. You can always stay with us. And as for Alexmi boy, I'll keep him busy enough so you won't be home much, but I don't want to lose him, Lily lamented. I love him, yeah, your actions over the past couple of days really show that, don't they? Max retorted. That's not fair, Max, she protested. I know what I did with you guys, and yes, I enjoyed it. But I still love him. I don't want to lose him. Sure, Max dismissed her. Let him cool off. Eventually, he'll come around. And if he doesn't, we can handle that too. You're not going to hurt him, are you? She worried. Not explicitly, Max assured her. We just need to make him see things our way, and you'll play a part in that. What? Lily was taken aback. That's right, Max confirmed. When the time comes, you'll help us make him understand. Remember where your loyalty lies. And remember, I have videos that could cause quite a scandal if they were ever leaked. You wouldn't dare, Lily protested. Oh, I would, Max said firmly. I have footage from the camping trip and other compromising situations. You belong to me now, so it's up to you to keep Alexei boy in line. Feeling trapped, Lily reluctantly agreed. Okay, Max, she conceded. But please, don't hurt him, Max smirked over the phone. Sure, he said dismissively, ending the call. Meanwhile, Alex arrived at the large two-story home of Ethan and Mia Lee. He got out of his car, carrying the bottle of wine he'd picked up on the way. Ethan greeted him at the door with a warm smile and took the wine. Come on in, Alex, Ethan welcomed him. Thank you. We'll put this to good use tonight. Following Ethan inside, Alex was introduced to Mia, who was waiting in the dining room with her lasagna. Alex, this is my wife, Mia, Ethan said. Mia, meet Alex Reed, our new account representative. Alex shook hands with Mia as Ethan uncorked the bottle of wine. Nice to meet you, Alex, Mia said with a warm smile. Pleasure's mine, Mrs. Lee, Alex replied. Please, call me Mia, she insisted. Mrs. Lee sounds too formal. Seated at the table, Mia served up generous portions of lasagna while Ethan poured the wine. Alex took a bite and was quick to compliment. This is the best lasagna I've ever had. I'm pleased you enjoyed it, Mia replied. It's one of my specialties, Ethan, curious but respectful, asked. Alex, I don't mean to pry, but why did you leave Max so abruptly? Did something happen? Alex nodded, preparing to explain. Yeah, something happened, he admitted. Please, Alex, share with us, Mia encouraged. Taking a moment to gather his thoughts, Alex began recounting the events. It's been rough, Ethan sympathized. I've been through something similar, though under different circumstances. What's your plan now, besides changing jobs? Alex revealed. I've consulted a lawyer, and I'm filing for divorce. My attorney says it'll likely be an even split. Have you considered counseling? Mia suggested. Alex shook his head. It's beyond that point. I don't understand what's gotten into Lily. It's like she's turned into someone I don't recognize. How are you coping with all of this? Mia asked gently. Not very well, Alex confessed. My lawyer says I should act normally around Lily, but it's hard. I can't even stand to look at her. Perhaps counseling could help, Mia suggested again. I might consider it, Alex acknowledged. Ethan's right, Mia interjected. I'm the best in the field. I believe I can help you if you're open to it. Plus, it's covered under your benefits package. That's a positive, Alex said with a weak chuckle. I'm serious, Ethan assured him. Mia was invaluable to me during a tough time. I'm confident she can support you too. Ethan then turned to Mia. Can you fit him into your schedule? Absolutely, Mia confirmed. I propose an hour per week. How does that sound, Alex? After thinking it over, Alex agreed. All right, I'll give it a try. Ethan smiled and patted Alex on the shoulder. Good decision. I'll make sure you have the necessary time for counseling. Coordinate with Mia and let me know what works for you. I will, Alex affirmed. Thank you, Ethan then said. Now, if you don't mind, dear, Alex and I will head to my office to discuss his new position. Of course, I don't mind, Mia replied with a smile. I'm excited to work with you, Alex. Thank you, Alex said, rising with Ethan. They proceeded to Ethan's home office, where Ethan poured them each a snifter of brandy. For the next 2 hours, they hashed out the details of Alex's new role. By the end of their discussion, Alex felt empowered, as if he were reclaiming control of his life. After shaking hands with Ethan, Alex returned home around 10 p.m. Noticing that the lights were still on, he hoped Lily was alone. When he entered the apartment, he found Lily on the couch. "How did your meeting go?" she asked. "Very well, thank you," Alex replied. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to bed." "Good night." He retreated to the second bedroom where his computer was set up. As he began undressing, Lily stood in the doorway and asked, "Are you sleeping in here now?" "Yes," Alex confirmed. "I'm still not feeling well, so I'll sleep on the futon." "Is that all right?" Sure, I suppose," she responded hesitantly. "It's just that you've been away for 3 days, and I was hoping we could, spend some time together." "I'm not feeling up to it tonight," Alex stated firmly. The thought of being physically close to her made him uncomfortable. "Okay," she murmured softly. "Maybe tomorrow." "I'm not sure," Alex replied. "We'll see." Lily nodded and left, her mind racing with doubts about whether Alex had discovered anything about her recent behavior. The next morning, Alex woke up before Lily. He prepared his resignation letter and brewed a cup of coffee. Noticing Lily's purse on the kitchen counter, he grabbed the audio recorder and downloaded the previous day's phone call. Without saying goodbye or expressing any affection, he left the apartment. As the door clicked shut behind him, Lily lay in bed, tears streaming down her face. Upon arriving at the office, Alex kept to himself. After a brief exchange of pleasantries with his secretary, he retreated to his office and shut the door. As he was packing his belongings, Max entered the room. "What's this?" Max asked. Alex pulled out 2 envelopes from his briefcase. "One contains the signed contract from California," he explained, "and the other is my resignation, effective immediately. I expect a bonus for securing the California account and my final pay, including my remaining vacation time." "Resignation?" Max exclaimed, taken aback. "Why are you leaving?" "I need you," Max protested. "Seriously?" Alex retorted, his anger palpable. "You honestly don't know why? You think I'm naive?" "I'm not. Frankly, certain revelations have surfaced, compelling me to resign. I've secured a position with another company. I'll be leaving here shortly, then heading to HR." "Wait, Alex, can't we discuss this?" Max implored. Alex shook his head. "There's nothing to discuss, Max. I'm done. Finished. I once considered you a friend, but you betrayed me and ruined my marriage. Find someone else to deceive." "So this is about that?" Max probed, his tone dismissive. "Just so you know, your wife willingly engaged in intimacy with me. We don't need to let that ruin your career. Just go with the flow for now. Let Lily explore her desires. When she's done, she'll return to you." "You're despicable," Alex accused, his voice low and angry. "You expect me to accept that? By the way, how long have you been involved with her?" "The first time was during the camping trip," Max confessed. "On the second day, while you and others were skiing, she initiated it in your tent, claiming I was superior to you. Then she begged me to be intimate with her. Remember when you suddenly set me away to handle something at the office? You wanted me out of the way so she could be with me." Alex's eyes widened in realization. "Yeah, so what?" Max shrugged, dismissive. "And hiring her as a waitress at your party was just another ploy to sleep with her, right?" "Correct." "So what?" Max repeated. Alex halted the audio recording he had secretly initiated when Max entered. "Thank you for your confession," Alex said coldly. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm finished packing. I'll go to HR and be on my way." "Wait," Max protested. "You can't use that recording." "We'll see," Alex remarked, his voice icy. "I'm leaving." "Goodbye, rot in hell," Max spat as Alex walked away. "Wait, you forgot something," Max called out, holding up a photo of Lily from Alex's desk. "I didn't forget," Alex replied, not turning back. "I don't want it. If you and your son are so keen on her, she's all yours. I'm done with both of you. Goodbye." With that, Alex exited the office, leaving Max bewildered. How did Alex discover what had happened between Lily, him, and his son? Max pondered. "What do you mean he resigned?" Lily demanded when Max called. "He handed me a signed contract and a resignation letter and left," Max explained. He knows, Lily. I don't know how, but he knows. What did you tell him? She inquired, her voice trembling. The truth, Max admitted. I told him about the first incident on the camping trip. You fool, she scolded. And, so I told him everything, Max confessed, irritated. Even left the photo of you he had on his desk. Great, Lily sighed, tears streaming down her face. What now? Not my concern, Max shrugged. He's your husband, handle it. Unless you want me to come over and enlighten him. No, she refused, her voice breaking. You've done enough. Stay out of it. I'll handle it or not. Max dismissed her concerns with a curt, fine, and ended the call. Lily glanced at her phone, sobbing uncontrollably. The thought of divorce was terrifying, but she understood Alex's stance on her infidelity. Determined to salvage their marriage, she sank onto the couch, her head in her hands, overwhelmed by regret. A few minutes later, Alex arrived home. Spotting Lily's car, he scanned for Max's vehicle but found none. Carrying a box and his briefcase, he entered the apartment. He noticed Lily on the couch but said nothing as he headed into his office. After locking the door, he checked for voice recordings, found one of Lily's conversation with Max, and promptly forwarded it to his lawyer. Hello, Alex, his lawyer answered. I've just received your latest email. I'm filing your paperwork now. Good, Alex responded. When can they be served? If you'd like, I can arrange for them to be delivered late this afternoon, she offered. Will that work? It will. Thanks, Alex acknowledged. After hanging up, Alex retrieved his .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol from the weapon safe, more out of precaution than intent. In the kitchen, he placed it on the table. We need to talk, he stated, setting the pistol down within easy reach. Is that necessary? Lily questioned, her eyes widening as she glanced at the weapon. I hope not, Alex replied. Just a precaution in case your lover decides to show up. My lover? She asked, trying to sound innocent. Don't play coy, Alex retorted sternly. Sit down. We have things to discuss. Terrified, Lily obeyed, her heart racing with uncertainty. Firstly, Alex began, someone will serve you with papers later today. Divorce papers? Lily gasped. Why? I don't want a divorce. I love you, bull, Alex countered. I know about you and Max, his son, and others you've been with lately, so I filed for divorce due to infidelity. Infidelity? She objected, panic rising in her voice. You have no proof. Alex smirked and revealed an envelope containing time-stamped photos showing her with multiple men, including Max. I also have video and audio, Alex added coldly. Alex's voice was cold as he held up the envelope. Interested, Lily shook her head, realizing her pleas were in vain. Good, Alex said, his tone unwavering. Here's the deal, no spousal support. We'll split the bank funds evenly. You keep your retirement accounts, and I'll keep mine. I've canceled your credit card, and I have a check here for your share of the money. There's also a restraining order in place that requires you to stay 500 feet away from me, my home, and my workplace. You have until you're officially served to pack your things. You're kicking me out? Lily's voice was barely a whisper, tears streaming down her face. That's right, Alex confirmed firmly. What if I contest this? She asked, her voice trembling. Alex chuckled darkly. That wouldn't be wise. Think about the fallout if these photos were made public. Consider your job. You wouldn't dare, she protested weakly. Want to bet? Alex challenged. Lily hesitated, then admitted defeat. No, she said. I can't risk it. I need my job. Exactly, Alex said. Two more things. What now? She asked, her voice despondent. You'll return your rings and drop my last name, he said coldly. Lily removed her rings with shaking hands. You've become heartless, she accused. You gave me reason, Alex replied. I just want to know one thing. What happened? How did you go from being a loving wife to this? Lily's gaze fell to the floor. It started on the second day of the camping trip, she said quietly. You were out on the boat, and I was in the tent. Max came by and saw me. I had undressed and was resting when you walked in. He seemed uncomfortable at first, but then he exposed himself, and that's where it all began. So, a guy with a bigger package than mine shows up, and that's all it takes for you? Alex's voice was bitter. How many times did you sleep with him while we were there? Twice, she admitted, her voice barely audible. The first time when you were skiing, and the second time when Max sent you away to handle office matters. Alex shook his head, his gaze hard. None of your lovers used protection, he observed. Weren't you worried about getting pregnant or contracting something? I'm on the pill, she said defensively. That doesn't eliminate the risks, Alex said. You could still get pregnant or contract a disease. Was that your goal? No, not at all, she insisted. Alex sighed. You know, I've had plenty of women hit on me over the years, many who were far more attractive than you. I turned them all down because I believed I had a faithful wife at home. But you? You didn't even think about the consequences or my feelings. You only wanted pleasure. I hope it was worth it. Now pack your things. I expect you to be gone by the time you're officially served. Anything left behind will be discarded. Alex, please, she pleaded, her voice breaking. Can't we get some counseling? I promise I'll never do it again. Please, can't you forgive me? I will never forgive you for this, Alex said, his voice cold and final. From the moment you betrayed me with Max, I can't see past that level of betrayal. But don't you love me enough to try to work through this? She asked, tears streaming down her face. No, Alex said flatly. Right now, I can't even stand to be around you. The sooner you're out of my life, the better. Now start packing. Anything left behind will be thrown out. Sobbing, Lily began to gather her belongings. Alex watched in silence as she struggled with bags full of items. She stopped and looked at him once more. Can you at least help me carry these to my car? She asked, her voice filled with desperation. No, Alex said firmly. You're on your own. Anything left behind will be disposed of or donated. She carried the bags to her car and came back for more, looking utterly exhausted. I can't fit anything else, she admitted. Can I come back for the rest later? No, Alex repeated. You're not allowed back. You can arrange for your parents to collect your things, or I can hold off on disposing of them for a few days. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that, she said. But, what do I tell my parents? Tell them the truth for once, Alex suggested. Tell them you cheated on me with my boss and others, and that's why I had to ask you to leave. Seriously, she asked, her face pale with fear. They'll be disappointed no matter what, Alex said. But it'll be worse if you lie or sugarcoat it. They value honesty. A knock at the door interrupted their conversation. That should be for you, Alex said. Lily approached the door and found a sheriff's deputy standing there. Are you Candace Reed? He asked. Yes, she replied, her voice trembling. May I see some ID, please? He requested. She handed him her driver's license. After he checked it, he returned it and handed her an envelope. You've been served, ma'am, he said. There's also a restraining order requiring you to vacate the premises immediately. You can sign the divorce papers now if you'd like. Lily took the envelope and the papers. After reviewing them, she took a pen and signed the documents. I'll deliver these to your attorney, the deputy said. You need to leave now. If you try to come back, you'll be arrested. With that, the deputy turned and left. Lily stood in the doorway, staring at the papers in her hands and the reality of her situation sinking in. Do you understand? Alex's voice was steady as he looked at Lily. Yes, she replied, her face streaked with tears. She turned to Alex with a final apology. I'm deeply sorry. Yeah, me too, Alex responded quietly. Goodbye, goodbye, Lily whispered as she walked away. The deputy nodded at Alex before following her out. The next few days were chaotic for Alex. Lily made no attempts to reach out, but Max left 2 threatening voicemails on the house phone. Damn it, Alex, I know you're there, Max's voice blared through the receiver. If you don't drop this lawsuit, I'm coming over to kick your ass, Alex smirked, saved the voicemail, and forwarded it to Sophie, who promptly notified the local sheriff's department. Lily's parents also reached out, asking if they could collect the rest of her belongings. Sure, Just make sure she's not with you, Alex instructed them. There's a restraining order against her, all right, Samuel, Lily's father, sighed. We'll be there to pick up her things. When Samuel and Lily's mother arrived, they gathered the remaining items and urged Alex to reconsider the divorce. Alex, she made a mistake, Lily's mother, Ella, pleaded. Can't you forgive her? She loves you. What did she tell you, Ella? Alex asked. She admitted to messing up with your boss, Ella replied, and that's all? Alex pressed. Yes, she didn't go into details, and we didn't pry, Ella explained. Alex retrieved the envelope containing the photos and SD cards and showed them to Ella and Samuel. Their expressions turned from concern to shock as they viewed the evidence. I had no idea it was this severe, Samuel said, his anger evident. I'm going to have a serious talk with our daughter. Have you done anything else with these photos? Samuel inquired. Not yet, Alex said. But I warned her not to contest the divorce. Sympathizing with him, they finished packing Lily's belongings. After a warm farewell hug, they left with the remaining items. Later that day, as Alex watched TV, another knock sounded at the door. He peered through the peephole and saw Max, Daniel, and two other former colleagues. Alex retrieved his pistol from the safe, dialed emergency, and kept the weapon discreetly behind his back. As he barely opened the door, he was met with a hostile reception. We're here to rough you up, Max threatened. Alex raised the pistol, causing the intruders to freeze. You really want to test me? He challenged. I've already called emergency services, and the police are on their way. If you're here when they arrive, you'll be arrested for violating the restraining order. Alex, he's serious, one of the men warned Max. Max hesitated, then turned to leave. Just then, sirens wailed and red and blue lights flashed outside. Yes, Max, I'm serious, Alex confirmed. As they began to retreat, two uniformed police officers arrived. Alex lowered his pistol and placed it on the kitchen counter. Please put the weapon down, sir, one officer instructed. Alex complied, placing the pistol on the counter. These individuals are violating a restraining order. They forced their way into my apartment and threatened me. I'd like to press charges. Do you have a copy of the restraining order? The other officer asked. Alex nodded and handed over the envelope. After examining the document, the officer turned to Max and his companions. Turn around, hands behind your back, the officer ordered. The men glared at Alex as the officers handcuffed them and read them their rights. Once restrained, one officer turned back to Alex. Do you have a license for that firearm? The officer asked. Yes, I do, Alex confirmed, producing his wallet with the firearm license and his NRA training card. The officer nodded after reviewing the cards. All right, the officer said. Just be careful with that weapon. I understand, Alex replied. Thank you. The following 3 months flew by for Alex. He found a sense of fulfillment at Empire, far beyond what he had experienced under Max's management. Weekly counseling sessions with Mia helped him manage his trust and anger issues. He joined a gym, exercising 3 times a week, and enrolled in martial arts classes for mental discipline. Additionally, he undertook a diet and exercise course recommended by Mia. The divorce process went smoothly, as Lily did not contest it. However, the alienation of affection lawsuits faced some complications. 2 of the cases were dismissed as Sophie had warned. But the case against Max took an unexpected turn. After reviewing the evidence and financial disclosures, the judge ruled in Alex's favor, ordering Max to pay $1 million in restitution. The judge was unequivocal in his condemnation of Max's actions. Mr. Carter, the judge said sternly, your conduct in this matter is utterly reprehensible. You not only exploited a man who considered you a friend, but you also abused your position as his employer to deliberately sabotage his marriage and family. Additionally, your repeated violations of the restraining order are unacceptable. Alex felt a weight lift from his shoulders as he saw justice being served. The past few months had been a journey of personal growth and recovery, and he was ready to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and strength. Therefore, I rule in favor of the plaintiff and order you to pay restitution in the amount of $1 million. Your Honor, this is highly irregular, Max's lawyer, Mr. Kennedy, interjected. Mr. Kennedy, the judge retorted. This court finds Mr. Carter's behavior not only irregular but absolutely despicable. The order stands. When must this restitution be paid? Winthrop inquired. Immediately, the judge declared. Unless, of course, your client prefers spending time in jail for contempt. No, Your Honor, my client will comply with the order, Winthrop conceded. Very well, the judge concluded. And may God help you if this check bounces. With a decisive gavel strike, the hearing concluded. Max wrote a check, which his attorney handed to the bailiffs. After the judge verified it, the check was passed to Sophie, who then handed it to Alex. To Alex's surprise, the check cleared, and he promptly compensated Sophie for her portion of the judgment. While working at Empire, Alex was approached by several of Max's former clients. Word of the lawsuit had spread, and many businesses were reluctant to engage with someone who had sought to destroy another man's marriage. Alex speculated that Max's business would likely collapse within the year. During this period, Alex chose to remain single. Despite receiving interest from several pleasant women at work, he considered himself still married until the final decree was granted. Only after that would he entertain the idea of a new relationship. When the final decree was issued, Alex celebrated with colleagues, which included a lively night out and a lap dance from a spirited entertainer. A few months after the divorce was finalized, Lily's mother, Ella, called Alex. Alex, it's Ella. Can we talk for a few minutes? She asked. Of course, Ella, Alex responded. What's on your mind? It's about Lily, Ella revealed. She's tested positive for HIV. I'm sorry to hear that, Ella, Alex said sympathetically. But honestly, I'm not surprised. Besides, we're officially divorced now, so there's not much I can do. She's not covered by my insurance, and I'm not responsible for her anymore. I understand, Ella acknowledged. I was hoping you might spare a few minutes to talk to her. I suppose I can, Alex conceded. Though I'm unsure of its benefit. Thank you so much, Ella expressed her gratitude. Alex drove to Ella and Samuel's home and was struck by Lily's gaunt appearance. She approached him, but Alex gestured for her to stay seated. With a heavy heart, she complied and invited him to sit on the couch. You're looking well, Alex, she remarked. Better than I remembered. How have things been for you? Things have been good, Lily, Alex replied. New job, new friends, and a fresh perspective on life. How about you? Not great at all, she confessed. You know about my HIV status? Yes, your mother informed me, Alex confirmed. I'm sorry to hear that, but frankly, I'm not surprised. Do you know when you contracted it? I believe it was during one of my encounters at Max's, she admitted. I had unprotected sex with multiple partners that day. Does Max know? Alex asked. She shook her head. Not yet. But I'll have to tell him so he can get tested. I doubt he'll take it well. Probably not, Alex agreed. Listen, Lily, I want to apologize to you one last time. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for what I've done. I realize now the devastation my actions caused. I could have stopped at any point, but I didn't. I was foolish and selfish, allowing my desires to override my better judgment. You were the best husband and lover I could have asked for, and I threw it all away for fleeting pleasure. I know you despise me and you have every right to, but I don't want to leave this world without your forgiveness. Alex took a deep breath, reflecting on her words. It was the first time she had fully acknowledged her actions and their impact. Despite the lingering resentment, Alex recalled his counseling sessions with Mia. Holding on to grudges wouldn't help him move forward. All right, Lily, Alex said with a nod. I forgive you. Lily burst into tears as she sat back in her chair. Alex contemplated embracing her but hesitated when she waved him away. Thank you so much, Alex, she said, her eyes brimming with tears. That means more to me than you know. Please, find someone you can love and trust. Marry her, have children. I'm done, but you deserve to be happy. Thank you, Alex replied. I'll do that. If you ever want to just talk, let me know, okay? She nodded, wiping her tears. I will, Alex. Thank you for coming over. I've missed you these last few months. I've missed the woman I married, Alex nodded. How are things with Max and Daniel, by the way? Lily shook her head. Not good. He's become very abusive. He didn't take losing in court well, and his business has taken a big hit, I've noticed, Alex acknowledged. Has he hurt you physically? Not yet, but he's very volatile, she replied. Do you want me to be with you when you tell him about your diagnosis? Alex offered a no, but thanks for asking, Lily said. This is my responsibility, and I need to handle it. I keep thinking that if I had told him to leave that first day at the camping trip, we might still be together, Lily reflected. That's quite possible, Alex conceded. But I have a feeling it would have happened eventually. He'd been pursuing you for quite a while. I think you're right, she agreed. I'm getting really tired now and need to rest before I head back. Thank you for coming over. It really does mean a lot to me. You're welcome, Lily, Alex said. And remember, if you need to talk or anything, just call me, she nodded weakly. I will. Goodbye, Alex. Think of me every once in a while, okay? Alex sensed a note of finality in her words, a troubling hint of despair. I will, he assured her. Just don't do anything foolish, okay? She managed a small smile. I won't, she promised. As Alex stood to leave, Ella approached him, embracing him tightly. Thank you, Alex, she said, tears in her eyes. This means more to her than you know. And to me as well. You're welcome, Ella, Alex replied. Please, keep an eye on her. I will, Ella promised. A couple of weeks later, Alex was home, enjoying a quiet evening with dinner and the news when a report caught his attention. The bodies of a local businessman, his son, and a woman believed to be the man's lover were found earlier today in what police are investigating as a double homicide and suicide, the anchor reported. Jacob Carter, president and founder of Carter Consulting, along with his son and an unidentified woman, were discovered dead. All three suffered gunshot wounds. Police are investigating the incident, and further details will be provided as they become available. Alex's heart sank as he processed the news. He quickly phoned Ella. Ella, what's happening? He asked, his voice filled with concern. We just learned that Lily is dead, Ella said through tears. It appears that Max shot her, then his son, and finally himself. Oh my God, Alex exclaimed. I saw the report and was hoping it wasn't her. I'm so sorry, it's her, Ella confirmed. Do the police have any idea why it happened? They're not entirely sure, she explained. But I believe Lily told Max about her HIV diagnosis, and he lost it. Autopsies are underway. I'm truly sorry, Ella, Alex said. I want you to know I never wished for this. I understand, Alex, Ella responded. Lily made her own choices and faced the consequences. Losing an only child is devastating, but I take comfort in thinking she's in a better place now. If there's anything I can do, Alex offered, please let me know. Thank you, Alex, she acknowledged. I will. Lily's memorial service was held a couple of weeks later. Alex took time off to support her parents. According to the autopsies, both Max and his son were HIV positive, just like Lily. Police findings revealed that Lily had disclosed her diagnosis to Max, prompting him to have himself and his son tested. Upon discovering their own positive status, Max shot Lily, his son, and then himself. Alex took a few days to mourn Lily's passing, reflecting on their happier moments. Then, unexpectedly, Natalie Cooper, a colleague, visited him. Hey, cowboy, she greeted warmly. Want to join us for happy hour tonight? You seem like you could use some company. Alex hesitated but ultimately decided to accept the invitation. What the heck, he said. I could use some good company right now. Sure, count me in. Great, Natalie said, smiling. Meet us at the hitching post after work, okay? I'll be there, Alex confirmed. Thanks for the invitation. As Natalie walked away, Alex pondered the unpredictable nature of life.